Testing, testing. Hello. Hi, everyone. All right. Welcome back. Oh, I hear a little echo. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes? Audio is okay? Hello? All right. Okay, good. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's get started. Well, CCP politics is dark, but right now it's darker than ever before. Program after program, we're uncovering things that go beyond politics, beyond reason, beyond what most people could even believe. Atrocities that reach into the edge of our human realm. You know this man? Let me see. Oh, here we go. Yes. We've told his story a couple of times. I mean, in at least 3 programs, if I remember it correctly. So he was a handsome actor with a promising future. But on September 11th, Yu Menglong's life ended, suddenly, violently, and in the strangest way imaginable. The official statement came out fast, cold, rigid, and unquestionable. The conclusion? Just 3 words: fall from drunkenness. Online, all related content vanished quickly. Anyone who tried to post about Alan Yu's death or Yu Menglong's death was warned, threatened, deleted, or even detained. Yet, despite the censorship, the story refused to die. Photos, videos, and leaked messages surfaced, implicating actors, directors, screenwriters, producers, and investors, many of them grandchildren or great-grandchildren of top CCP officials. The above is what I covered in my last couple of programs on Yu's death. You asked me to give an update on the case. Here we are. I must warn you, today's program can be mentally disturbing. First of all, I want to say it's excellent that major international media outlets have picked up the story. The BBC openly questioned the credibility of China's official statement. Foreign Policy magazine ran a long feature explaining the case in detail and ended with a haunting question. If even a well-known figure like Yu Menglong can be erased from public memory so easily, what hope is there for ordinary Chinese people? Now, Yu's death ripped open the darkest secrets of China's entertainment world, where sex, money laundering, arms smuggling, and murder intertwine. But if you think that's the darkest part, think again. What came next, or what comes next, is beyond normal comprehension, almost ghostly. Now, rumors began to spread about death offerings, which are explained as handsome young men chosen as ritualistic sacrifices, where one life is taken to extend another, to ward off disaster, health problems, or to buy time from fate for those in power. And here's where it gets chilling. Yu Menglong was born on June 15th, the same birthday as Xi Jinping. And another actor, Lanlan Yang, who died mysteriously 9 years ago under eerily similar circumstances, shared his birthday, October the 15th, with Xi Jinping's father, Xi Jinping. So today, let's uncover if this is a mere coincidence or there's a link. Now, in the past day or so, new information has been leaked. Clearer videos of the actor being dragged by strangers surfaced. I shouldn't say strangers. I mean, it's obviously people who know him, but strangers is like people we haven't identified. And it said that the plan to murder the actor was in place or had been in place for months, since April, and the actor was even made aware of it. Such an organized crime cannot be carried out without the involvement of Yu's agency. And after people turned their focus on his agent and the agency behind him, what they uncovered sent chills down people's spines. So let's talk about the agency. Tianyu Media or EE Media is a giant agency that dominates China's entertainment industry. It's actually China's only state-owned artistic management company. This special status gives it unrivaled resources and protection. Its parent company, Mango Super Media, operates under the Hunan Broadcasting System. So it's a SOE, and it's one of China's most powerful state media groups. And behind it stands an elite network of shareholders connecting state media, private tech giants, and national level financial companies. So, for example, Alibaba, China Mobile, financial institutions like Hong Kong Central Clearing Company, CITIC Bank, China Construction Bank, China Merchants Bank, Postal Savings Bank of China, and China Life Insurance Company. So this structure means EE Media holds not only absolute dominance over China's entertainment industry, but also deep roots across finance, telecom, and state power, forming an unshakable fortress. One case illustrates this vividly. It said that superstar Yang Mi personally traveled to Beijing 3 times to sign Alan Yu, then still under EE Media, but failed each time. Excuse me. Even the top players in the industry could not breach the wall of state capital and the political power that shields the company. Within this system, the string of unnatural death among EE Media's artists all share eerily similar official conclusions, always depression or accident. The repetition itself is deeply troubling, raising questions about whether there is a systemic link between these tragedies. So let's start with these 2 young men. So the first one is Bian Ce, the man on the left. So he was once called CCTV's most handsome news anchor. In the early hours of June 9th, 2015, 10 years ago, he fell to his death at the same residential compound where Alan Yu later died. It's the Sunshine Upper East in Beijing's Chaoyang district, and the anchor was only 32. And now, from the start, his death was full of suspicion. Just an hour before he died, he had a 40-minute phone call with his mother, and he was joking with her, saying how much he missed her cooking. And he showed no sign of distress. And just like Yu Menglong, Bian Ce rose to fame through Hunan TV's talent shows. And same place, he died in the same place, same pattern. Even whispers about the same hidden scandals, like the dark side of homosexuality in the entertainment industry. So all of that is strikingly similar. And the next case is Qiao Renliang, the man on the right, who was a popular actor-singer. On the night of September 16th, 2016, he was found dead in an apartment in Shanghai. Police quickly ruled out homicide, saying that he'd taken his own life. His agency claimed depression. He died from depression, or depression killed him. But online, countless posts said otherwise. People say that he actually was murdered in Beijing and was flown, his body was flown into Shanghai to create the scene that he died in Shanghai. And his issue was that he had offended powerful people and was brutally killed, just like Yu Menglong. Leaks even claim that he was murdered at a party after being tortured in front of a group of people. And the scene was similarly gruesome. And the guest list also overlapped with that of the party where Yu Menglong died. Now, only 3 months after Qiao Renliang died, the man on the right, another suspicious death happened. Another artist under the same agency, and her name is Ben Xi, a young singer signed to EE Media. So she died on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2016. She fell from the 13th floor of a building, and she was only 22. This is the young lady on the left. Now, her trouble was that she was a close friend with Qiao Renliang, the young man who died at a party. And after his death, she wrote a song in English called Pink Gun to kind of hint at his unusual death. Officially, her death was ruled as a depression, but only 3 days after she died, she had, 3 days before she died, she had gone live to promote her new single song. And she was talking about her plans for future releases. There was no hint of despair at all. So her death is widely believed to be linked to Qiao Renliang's brutal murder. Then came Ren Qiao, the young lady on the right. She was an actress model, and she died on October 15th, 2017. Again, her death is also the Xi Jinping father's birthday, October 15th, 2017. She fell naked from a hotel in Suzhou, and rumors said she had visited the room of a male celebrity shortly before her death. But nothing was ever investigated. The official line: accidental fall due to excessive drinking, exactly the same as Yu Menglong. And there's a fifth case, which I don't have a picture of, and his name is Tian Zongqi. He was a well-known volleyball commentator for the sports channel on CCTV Sports. On May 9th, 2024, last year, while living in Bangkok, he fell from the 6th floor of his apartment and died instantly. Photos showed him wearing only a t-shirt and an underwear, as if he'd just been about to wash up before going to bed. Or maybe he was in bed, So when his body was found, it was severely deformed, and so which suggests that he had been tortured before he died or before he fell. And his wounds immediately raised a flood of questions about what had happened to him. But the official conclusion, once again, was the same as the others: depression. Yet one of Tian's childhood friends, someone who had known him all his life, wrote that after his death, that as far as he knew, Tian had never suffered from depression. So that means in just 10 years, at least 6 young artists had died mysteriously. 4 men, 2 women, all young. There were 2 not on the slides. I didn't put Yu Menglong here, and I didn't put the last guy, the sports commentator, because I couldn't find a picture of him. So 4 men, 2 women, all young, all beautiful, all in their prime. 5 of them fell from buildings. That frequency alone is enough to send a chill down anyone's spine. As if those coincidences weren't creepy enough, there are others, even darker ones. At the center of this scandal is Alan Yu's agent, a man named Du Qiang. There he is. But that's not his real name. His real surname is Zhao. I forgot what his first name was. And this man is said to be in, I don't know if it's Secret Service or armed police forces, but he had a background in the military. So he was no agent. His job was to spy on the artists and on Yu Menglong. So he allegedly beat Alan Yu up, and also the other artist who died before him. And he even stole the actor's belongings. So he's called by the netizens as the monster agent because 3 male artists he represented died in unusual circumstances in the last 9 years. And here they are. So I've talked about 2 of them, Yu Menglong and Lanlan Yang. And there's a third man, the man in the middle, that I haven't told you about. He is a martial artist. He is a 34th generation Shaolin warrior monk. His real name is Xi Jinping or Xing Jinping. His Dharma name is Yan Hen. He's talented, athletic, and strikingly handsome. So here's a picture of him. There he is. And he's a great martial artist. People call him the most handsome monk of Shaolin Temple. And on Douyin, he had maybe on one of the Chinese short video platforms, I think it's Douyin, he had over 1 million followers. And in 2024, he appeared in a TV drama called Journey to Mountains and Seas, and he played a monk. Now, on August the 7th, 2024, he died in a car crash at the age of 21. Later, a woman identifying herself as the monk's sister came forward, claiming he died when the car rear-ended a truck. But just like the cases of the other young people, like the actors, there were many suspicious details that were spreading on the internet. His fans and online followers kept digging, calling for justice in his name because they said that he didn't die of a car crash. And according to screenshots they posted, when his body was brought back to his hometown, villagers discovered surgical incisions on his torso, signs suggesting his organs might have been removed. And it is said that this young, healthy man's organs were highly coveted and sold for a huge profit. And all 3 men allegedly had the same agent. That's that monster agent that you saw on the previous page. There he is. Okay. So many people online are now asking this chilling question. Was Alan Yu's death only a small part of a large cover-up reaching the very top of the leadership? And people cannot help but going back to the identical birthday of Xi Jinping and Alan Yu. If you argue this is pure coincidence, then the latest expose on Xi Jinping's brother possibly being on site at the crime scene made everything click. And so this is the latest that had come out in the last 10 hours, I believe. Let me make this bigger so you can see better. All right, so there's a man captured. So according to a social media account on X, so it's called, I think the name is called News Insight or yeah, 新闻调查 or new investigative news. Yeah. Anyway, a man with a big belly wearing a white shirt was spotted at the scene of Alan Yu's death. So there he is. The circle, the picture on the left is is enlarged from that video, from the picture on the right, where I circled the man. So he's enlarged. His image is enlarged. At first, no one paid much attention to him. But as online investigators began digging deeper, things started to look unusual. By now, people have already identified all 16 individuals at the party. They have names and pictures attached to each name, because they're all Chinese names, and you probably don't know them, so I don't bother to show them here for you. So at first, people tried to match the face of this man in white shirt with the 16 individuals suspected to be on site at the party where Yu died. But after close comparison, they couldn't match him to anyone on the list. And what truly set the internet on fire was when someone used facial recognition software to compare this man in white with one of the most powerful figures in China, Xi Jinping's younger brother. So here they are. So the picture on the left is Xi Yuanping, Xi Jinping's brother. And the man on the right is the blown up image of that man in white on site at the crime scene. So people, by analyzing the eyes, nose, jawline, the overall body shape, the algorithm found an astonishing 80% similarity. So there's an 80% chance that the man in white is Xi Jinping. If that finding is true, it's significant because it suggests Yu Menglong's death may involve forces far above the entertainment industry. Xi Jinping is Xi Jinping's only brother, and he has long been active in the financial and corporate world, and he's deeply intertwined with state-linked capital groups. Let me come back. And his wife is an actress, is a singer turned actress, who's, I don't know, 26 years younger than him. Now, his presence at that location, whether by coincidence or by design, adds a whole new layer of interpretation and suspicion, or a whole new layer of interpretation to an already suspicious case. Because here's the question. People like him wouldn't normally attend a party like that. These people are not at his level, right? The people at the party are not at his level. I mean, these people are, first of all, they're younger. And second of all, they're all in the entertainment industry. Or investors in the entertainment industry. The only explanation that makes sense for Xi Jinping's brother to personally come on site is what? What do you think? It's Alan Yu's birthday. So as we said at the beginning, Alan Yu's birthday is June 15th, the same as Xi Jinping. 9 years ago, actor Qiao Renliang, under the same agent, died in similar circumstances. His birthday was October 15th, the same as Xi Jinping's father. So Xi Jinping's brother would attend the event if the torture and murder session was carried out as part of the death offerings to Xi and Xi family. Right? It's part of that. It's that ritualistic sacrifice. Otherwise, there's no other explanation why Xi Jinping would appear at such a gruesome crime scene. He would not attend a party with a group of lunatics and drug addicts early in the morning hours. No, unless he needed to be there to witness the ceremonial sacrifice of the man who shared his brother's birthday. So, of course, the above is only speculative analysis based on what's being leaked and what we have seen. The truth may never be known. However, the fact that these pictures leaked at all spells big trouble for those who committed the crime. I highly suspect that the military was tipped off and set up high-powered cameras with zoom lenses to get the photos. In my last program, I discussed it, and since I mentioned it, I think the more people are coming out with believing, that it has to be the military behind this, getting these pictures and videos leaked. Otherwise, how could these people allow evidence to be leaked out? So, I mean, you can watch it if you haven't. I talked about it in my last program on Yu Menglong. On the night of September 22nd, the sky in Hami, Xinjiang, lit up with a rare dragon-shaped lightning. The twisting, glowing bolt, accompanied by deafening thunder, quickly went viral online. Many linked the phenomena to Alan Yu's death. Because people couldn't really talk about his death. People used this lightning as kind of a symbol to commemorate the actor. And adding to the mystery, Alan Yu was from Xinjiang, right? So this is where the lightning happened. He was born in the year of the dragon. And then his name, Menglong, sounds almost identical to dragon in Chinese. So that's why people shared this photo. That's why this photo went viral. Now, while some people are enraged, many lament that justice for the actor may never happen. In their frustration, they've turned to the supernatural. When justice and truth are twisted by invisible hands, when every official channel simply repeats the same lies, people in despair reached for the oldest source of answers. They look to the heavens and call on spirits for help. And now, I know not everyone believes in ghosts, but after Yu Menglong's death, ghost stories began flooding in. People claiming they'd met Yu's soul in their dreams, heard his voices, or received strange messages. Psychics and people with supernormal abilities tried every means possible to communicate with Yu's soul in the netherworld. And one Taiwanese YouTuber even used a supernatural, it's called EVP, or electronic voice phenomenon recorder, which is an instrument for capturing spirit voices, and claimed to have received direct responses. I saw the video. The video just, while they're trying to communicate with the Yu Menglong, they turn on their YouTube live stream, so you can actually hear everything they heard on that receiver, on the EVP receiver. I can't really say it's word for word, but definitely every time they ask a question like, "Are you Yu Menglong? Did this person kill you? Or what do you want to tell us?" They ask a lot of questions. Every time they ask a question, there is a response. That's for sure. There's definitely a response from the other end. Now, is the answer, for example, the first question they ask him, "Can you tell us where you're from?" And he's from Urumqi. And so there's a sound that's very similar to Urumqi, but I'm not sure if everyone would be convinced the words actually said Urumqi. It was very fast, and there was a lot of background noise. But there's enough people to believe that the sound that came from the recorder or the device was Urumqi. Of course, Urumqi is not it's not a very crisp. The sound is not very crisp to hear, right? It's Urumqi. It could be anything. So, but it's very spooky. I must say it's very spooky. Every time they ask a question, there's a response. So obviously someone is responding. Anyway, and these aren't just ghost stories. They are cries for justice from a society so tightly silenced that only the dead can speak. The dead can speak, but the living ones cannot. Yu Menglong's mentor from Taiwan, Mr. Sun Derong, there he is, said that on the night of September the 27th, Yu appeared in his dream for 5 hours, clear and vivid. Now, how did he know that it was 5 hours? I had that first question, right? How did he know? When you're sleeping, you don't look at your clock, watch. I mean, we have a dream. You can't time it. You don't know how long that dream lasted. He actually explained this. He said that he suffers from some kind of a bladder problem. So he has to get up every night a couple of times to use the bathroom. And so he timed it. It was much longer. It was 5 hours. And he was dreaming during that whole time. And it was 5 hours. So that's why he knew it was a 5-hour dream. But he said, in the dream, you wept and told him everything that had happened before and after his death, and saying that the only thing he worried about was his mother. And Mr. Sun called Yu's death tragic and helpless, and promised to find the right moment to speak out, vowing not to let the truth be buried. Now, Mr. Sun is also haunted by guilt, and he said, because he was his first teacher, he went to China, mainland China, and he was like a scout, right? And he found 8 talented young people under him and trained them. So he was his first agent. So he said, if I hadn't led him into the entertainment world, if I hadn't trained him, maybe he'd still be happy now. So he felt a sense of guilt for bringing him into the entertainment industry. So he had planned to return to Beijing to organize a Buddhist ceremony to chant scriptures for Yu's soul. However, his family and friends in Taiwan feared for his safety, so Mr. Sun decided to hold the event at a temple in Taiwan instead. Now, soon after, 2 days ago, we learned that he received death threats because he knows too much, because Yu Menglong told him everything in the dream, in a 5-hour dream. So posts surfaced on China's TikTok, Douyin, predicting Mr. Sun's own death in October. Yeah, these posts predicting this Taiwanese artist or this Taiwanese agent's death in October started to show up on Chinese social media. And fearing foul play, Mr. Sun immediately released a public statement saying, "I will not commit suicide." And he stressed that he's neither law enforcement nor a political figure, and he only wants to help the soul of his former student rest in peace. His supporters urged him to be careful, noting that the CCP's infiltration in Taiwan is also extensive. That warning alone shows how dark this case has become. So, let me recap. 10 years, 6 deaths. Well, actually, if you include the Shaolin warrior monk, it's 7 deaths, right? 10 years. If he's managed by the same agent, then it's 7 deaths. 10 years, 7 deaths. One company shielded by power. And do you think these are just coincidences? Or an organized crime hidden in plain sight? Why do the birthdays of 2 striking young men, both dead under eerily similar circumstances, under the same, managed by the same agent, handled by the same agent, managed by the same agency, handled by the same agent, tied directly to Xi Jinping and his father? Coincidence or something darker? And is that man in white shirt really Xi Jinping's brother? Well, you be the judge, but there's an 80% chance that it is the brother. It is Xi's brother, according to China's almighty facial recognition software. And not long ago, remember Xi Jinping made a strange remark to Vladimir Putin at the military parade. He said, humans may one day live to 150 years old. Now, the Chinese are connecting the dots, and suddenly they realize something more. It's not just organ harvesting. I mean, this is like witchcraft involved, right? People panicked. People really have panicked in Beijing. You know, the high end community where the murder took place. Homeowners in that residential complex uh, are rushing to sell their units. I told you that the number of units on the market went from 50 to 90 and then to 150 in a week today. And that was a week ago. Today, more than 300 units are up for sale in a community that has 2,000 homes. So over 10%, right? It's like 15% of them are on sale. So Alan Yu's death shattered many people's worldview. I think it has waken up a generation in China. We just haven't wait a little bit, you'll see the impact. And on September 20th, netizens launched a global petition on the NGO platform called Avaz, and it's titled Justice for Yu Menglong, claiming there is strong evidence that he was tortured to death. And it's urging a full, independent, and transparent investigation. So by the morning of October the 4th, today, it had already gathered 200,000 signatures. But I think this is not enough. We should have 2 million. We should have like 2 million signatures. So please help raise awareness if you can. That's all I have. All right, another dark cases. All right, questions, comments? It's unbelievable. All right. Let me acknowledge the people who gave me super stickers. I just want to say thank you. I saw some flew by. Oh, here's one. Many. Kyla, why 4 is unlucky in number in China? Not hotel room 4. 4 means death. Yeah, 4. 44. Oh, that's double death. Yeah. So 4 is not if you go to hospitals, they don't have the 4th floor. Yeah. So 4, when you try to sell real estate to Chinese, if the street address is like 44, they're not gonna like it. But thank you for the sticker. All right. Oh, here's one. I saw a green one. What? Ompel by. I love the name. It's cute. Well, thank you. Thank you. Here's a question. Lady Di. Lei, you are a brave soul to be so vocal about these anomalies. Well, we have to speak up. The more people who speak up, the better. We have to speak up. All right, let's see. Dweedle Miggs. Okay, hi, ladies. Speaking of occult, have you ever seen the yearly weird worship of the fable Yellow Emperor in Zhengzhou? The CCP invites important Chinese from all over the world. It's weird and ritualistic. I have not, but it's interesting. It's interesting that you mentioned it. Okay. Yeah, the discovery of Xi Jinping's picture is the latest development. And I think it ties to the suspicion of this ritualistic sacrifice, because the birthday of the 7 cases of the death, the 7 death cases, Alan Yu's death is strikingly similar to the man, the actor what's his name? Qiao Renliang. Yeah, the one who has the birthday as Xi Jinping's father. These two are strikingly similar. They're under the same agent. The guest lists are overlapping. So they're just so strikingly similar. And then, so it's almost hard for people not to relate them to some kind of a ritual. I mean, why? Why two young men, both strikingly looking, died under such similar circumstances, and their birthdays corresponds to Xi Jinping's birthday and his father's birthday. It just, you cannot explain that, right? All right. Many. Who is the Chinese Russian translator of Xi? The Chinese Russian translator of Xi? There's a man. Yeah, we see him appearing in videos, right? At meetings with between Xi Jinping and Putin. I don't know his name. I don't know. You think that man is at risk? At risk? Possibly. Okay. All right. So I don't know. You guys can decide for yourself what this all means. I'm just gathering information that I can find to present them to you. But I don't know how to draw the conclusion. It's just, I found it extremely odd that there's that birthday link. If it's one, you could say it's coincidence. Two men, 9 years apart. The number 9, because the two men not only, okay, they died 9 years apart. Now, 9 is an important number. 9 is believed to be the biggest number, right? So in traditional Chinese culture, so they timed it 9 years apart. And also the day they died is so close. The first guy, Qiao, died on September the 16th. Yu Menglong died on September 11th. It was said that they wanted to kill him on the same day, but somehow it got out of control, and it was 5 days earlier. So it's just unthinkable. Qiao Renliang, yes, okay, that's the name. All right. Okay. Yeah, someone said his mentor, Mr. Sun, he had bladder. I don't know if it's bladder cancer or something, but he has a bladder issue. He said he normally sleeps 2.5 hours at a time, and then he has to get up to pee. But that night he slept for 5 hours, so that's why he knew it's the dream lasted 5 hours. All right. Very troubling stories. Any news about Yu Menglong's mother? Some said that he's released by the police, but nobody has seen a picture of her or but someone said that the police released her, but that doesn't mean that she has her freedom back. That doesn't mean that she's allowed to say anything. So all right, so that's all for tonight. This is a very dark topic. So I want to end it here. I think I'm not in a mood to talk anything else. I'd better stop it here. Oh, here's a super sticker. Yang Slater. Okay, here's a question. Why CCP fear and or practice cultural Chinese religion? If they believe their system is the true belief system and religion, is question making sense? The CCP's religion, the communist religion, is anti-China, is against Chinese culture. That's why a cultural revolution took place. Because the CCP's communist ideology it came from Germany. It came from Karl Marx. it's not Chinese at all. So the reason the CCP, started the Cultural Revolution in the 60s is because they know that traditional Chinese, any Chinese with the traditional mindset will know that communism is bad for them because um, it fundamentally contradicts with the values that Confucius taught us. So that's why they systematically erased traditional Chinese culture. So people don't even know their culture. It's it's just like, I mean, Confucius was branded as an evil man during Cultural Revolution. So and so the Chinese culture you see today in mainland China is not Chinese culture, or is not traditional Chinese culture. It's CCP culture. It's very sad. You have a country with hundreds of millions of people who have lost their cultural heritage. So um, so the CCP knows that. They know that they cannot leave any